Okay, ready for another lesson in fractions? Are you enjoying fractions? I hope you like them. This is Unit 6 again, Lesson 28, and we're finishing up the lesson, and we're going to page 189 in your book with the numbers. So on page 189, we're looking at some more word problems. These you're going to have to think about a little bit more. So the first one says, think about breaking shapes into equal parts. So Ben has these cookies. Okay, how many cookies does he have? I count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He shares the cookies with a friend. They each get equal parts. Color what Ben gets. Okay, look at 5. We've talked about odd and even numbers. And we always said, hold up your hand and hold up that number of fingers to show you the number. So if you hold up 5 fingers, okay, then we pair them together. Those two, and we have what? An odd man out. Okay, so if you're dividing these cookies up for 2 people, you're going to have what? An odd man out. So let's think about how you can divide up these cookies when you have 2 people. Divide them up because it says Ben and a friend. So let's call the friend Michael. Okay, and so Ben and Michael are going to share these cookies. So let's look down here. It says color what Ben gets. Okay, well, let's color what Ben gets. Ben gets this one. But if Ben gets that one, what's Michael going to get? Michael's going to get 1. Ben gets 1, Michael gets 1. Okay, then Ben gets another one. And if Ben gets another one, Michael gets another one. Okay, is that fair so far? Is that the way you divide cookies with your friend? Okay, but there's the odd man out. What are we going to do with that odd man out? Okay, you're going to sit there and argue over it? Or what's another thing that you could do? And am I hearing you say share? Yeah, you could share that cookie. So if you're going to share that cookie, how are you going to divide that cookie? Okay, remember, we can divide things into halves, into fourths. Okay, so if there's just 2 friends, how many pieces do you need? Well, you need 2 pieces. So we need to divide it into half. So Ben gets a half. And Michael gets a half. So how many cookies did Ben get? He got 2 cookies and a half of a cookie. So I would write that. He got 2 cookies and he got 1 out of the 2 pieces that I made on that cookie. So he got 2 and a half. And how many did Michael get? He got 1, 2. And he got this one right here, that part. He got 1 out of the 2 pieces. He got 2 and a half. Okay, this is the whole number. 2 whole cookies and a half of a cookie. 2 whole cookies and a half of a cookie. Okay, now let's look at another one. Ben, our 4 friends share the cookies. Color what Ben gets. Okay, so here came some more friends. And Ben was having to share the cookies with more friends. Now, remember, if you share it with more friends, what do you know about the size that you get? You get less, don't you? You get a smaller part. So let's see how much Ben would get this time having to share with 4 or share with others. There are 4 of them all together. Okay, so let's go with Ben gets 1. I'm going to put a B on there for Ben. And Michael gets 1. So I'm going to put an M there for Michael. Now, got 2 more friends here. So he has another friend. And let's call this friend Samantha. And another friend, because there's 4 friends, gets 1. And let's call this friend Alicia. Okay, so, but once again, there's an odd man out. Okay, so if we're having 1 cookie left over, is it fair if Ben says, okay, 1 cookie left over, I get it? No. So what's the good thing to do? Let's share. So if we're going to share that cookie, how are we going to divide it? If there's 4 friends, we're going to have to divide it into how many parts? We're going to have to divide it into 4 parts. So we're going to divide it in half this way. And remember, when we're dividing circles, we go through the center each time. Okay? And each friend gets a part. So Ben gets a part. Michael gets a part. Samantha gets a part. And Alicia gets a part. So how much did Ben get? Well, let's look. He got 1 whole cookie. And he got 1 of those parts. He got 1 out of how many parts? How many parts do we have to divide it into? 4. So he got 1 1/4 parts. Okay, and Samantha got 1 1/4 parts. And Alicia got 1 1/4 part. And Michael got 1 1/4 part. Okay, so each of them got a whole cookie and 1/4 of another cookie. So 1 whole cookie and 1/4 of another cookie. Okay, the number here stands for the whole cookie they got, and this is for the part of the cookie. 1 1/4, the whole and the part of the cookie. Okay. Now we're going to go back and look at the other book. Look at the rest of the homework. I almost did the whole homework page for you yesterday, but let's look at the problem we had at the bottom. It says, okay, you're back in your book with the animals on it. So we're on page 264, and we're looking at the bottom. Which circle is divided into equal parts? Circle the ones showing equal parts. Okay, look at this circle. Are those parts equal? Look at this part right here. Do you think that that has as much space as this part right here? It doesn't look like it, does it? Okay, so those are not equal parts. So this one is not divided into equal parts. Then if we look at this one, are there equal parts? Is this part the same as this part? And they are. So this one shows something divided into equal parts. Okay, that finishes the workbook pages you have for this lesson. But we're at the end of the chapter, or end of Unit 6, so we're going to be doing a review on Unit 6. On this page right here, it says, if you have 3 triangle blocks, and you see those over here, that make up a trapezoid, and we made up a trapezoid, how many blocks make up 2 trapezoids? And it says, show your work. Well, if this is one trapezoid, and then I make another trapezoid, I'm going to make it just like this. And I put 3 triangles in that one. Now, how many triangles do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have. So, how many triangles make up 2 trapezoids? 6. Or, if I want to do a number sentence, 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay, so 6 triangles to make up 2 trapezoids. Okay, number 2. I have 4 sides the same length. Okay, this is a who am I question. I have 4 sides the same length. So look at your ones over here. Does this have 4 sides? No, so it's not that one. Does this have 4 sides? Yes. Does this have 4 sides? Yes. Does this? No. It has 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's not that one. Does this one have 4 sides? Yes. Okay, so it's going to be one of those 3. Now, which one is it? I have 4 square corners. Okay, so does this have square corner? And we found out this is a rectangle, and we found out that rectangles do have square corners. And we put our card there. We do see a square corner, a square corner, a square corner, and a, whoops, move down there, a square corner. Okay? Okay, so that one could be. What about this one? Well, that doesn't have a square corner. That one doesn't have a square corner. That doesn't have a square corner. That doesn't have a square corner. Okay, so it cannot be that one because it does not have square corners. And can it be the square? Well, to be a square, it has to have square corners. So square corner, square corner, square corner, and square corner. So it has square corners. So I did not read the whole thing there, did I? 4 sides, but I left out part of it, didn't I? I left the part that said the same length. Okay, so we were left with 4 sides and square corners, 4 sides and square corners, but it said the sides have to be the same length. Are the sides on here the same length? Well, this and this one are, but this side and this side are not. These 2 are the same, but they are not the same as these 2. So we do not have 4 sides the same. This one has, this is the same as this one, as this one, and as this one. So what am I? I am a square. Have you figured out how to spell square? Okay, let's sound it out. S, qua. Anytime you have it. Okay, my writing is not well because I'm trying to write underneath my iPad. Okay, when you have qua, you have to have a U goes with the Q. Squa, A, and the super E to tell the A to say its name. Okay, so I am a square. Okay, number 3. Roma shares her cookies with a friend. They each get 3 cookies and a half of another cookie. Did Roma share more or fewer than 6 cookies? Tell how you know. Okay, let's look at what it's telling us. Roma shares her cookies with a friend. So there's 2 people, right? They each get 3 cookies and half of another cookie. Okay, so we can draw that. Okay, here's Roma's cookies. She's got 1, 2, 3, and a half of a cookie. Okay, then over here are her, it sure is hard to write underneath the iPad. Okay, here are her friends, and she has 1, 2, 3, and a half cookie. Can I put my halves together? If I put 2 halves together, that makes what? It makes a whole, doesn't it? So how many cookies did Roma have to share with a friend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the question is, did Roma share more or fewer than 6 cookies? So is 7 more or fewer? Well, 7 is more, so she shared more than 6. Okay, down here it says, did Roma share more or fewer than 6 cookies? And we're going to write Roma shared more than 6 cookies. Okay, so she shared more than 6, but it says, did she share more or fewer than 6? So I've answered that question. But it says, tell how you know. Well, how do I know? Well, I know that 3, because she had 3.5 plus 3.5 equals 7. And I know that 7 is bigger or more than 6. Okay, I could have written that out with words, but I could also write it with a number sentence. Okay, on this page, it gives you some things that you can do. It says choose a shape. They chose a rhombus. They said put 2 or 4 of that shape together. Draw the new shape. So they put 4 rhombuses together, and they drew the shape, and this would be what? Well, let's see. How many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 sides, so it is a hexagon. Okay, the shape we said has 6 sides. It also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners. Okay, so they wrote. It says tell about the whole shape and the equal parts. It says the shape has 6 sides and 6 corners. It is a hexagon. It is made up of 4 rhombuses, the same size. So the four rhombuses are the same size. So it has 4 equal parts. Each rhombus is 1/4 of the shape. Okay, that's another way to break up a shape. Okay, it says use the shape you made, add other shapes, draw and write the shapes you use. So you could do the same thing that they did here. Get you a piece of paper, draw your shape that you made, and write about it. And I can just hear you saying, no way, Jose, huh? It's good practice, though. And here's where you're going to, well, I told you get another piece of paper, but no, you're going to do it here on this page. Choose a shape, put 2 or 4 of that shape together, draw your new shape, then tell about the whole shape and the parts. Remember over here, they said the shape has 6 sides and 6 corners. So tell how many sides and corners your shape has. It says it is a hexagon. So does your shape have a name? What is the name of your shape? Is it a hexagon, a trapezoid, a rhombus? What did you make? And it is made up of 4 rhombuses the same size. Then you could write it is made up of 3 triangles of the same size, 4 triangles the same size, 4 hexagons the same size. Just write what you made. And then, so it has, and however many equal parts you put in it, 3 pieces, 2 pieces, 4 pieces, and then put each, whatever you chose, a triangle, a hexagon, is 1/4 of the shape. Can you do that? Okay, use the shapes you made, add other shapes, draw and write the shapes you used. Okay, this is if you have time. Okay, here's a page that says make a shape, but you don't have the pattern blocks to do that. So you don't need to do that. Here, a little fun activity. Record. How many triangles do you have here? Well, let's do just the first one together. Not a triangle. No, 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 yes. So triangle, triangle. So how many? 1, 2. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put 2 triangles. Okay, how many squares? Well, no, 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 no. 0 squares. Okay, how many trapezoids? Okay, that one's going to be harder to find. But look here. Here's a trapezoid. The top is shorter than the bottom. They're parallel. And the sides are, these 2 sides are the same length. Okay, and here's another trapezoid. So I have 1, 2 trapezoids. And how many rhombuses? Well, here's a rhombus. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rhombuses. And any hexagons? No, we've already used all the shapes. Okay, so you can do the same thing with this one down here. Okay, this is just another using the same thing, but if you had shapes, you could put different shapes on there and try the same thing. Okay, and that ends the work in the book with the animals on it. Okay, the next video is going to be the review over Unit 6. So we'll look at that. What I'd like for you to do, before you look at the video, I would like for you to get your book with the numbers on it and go to Unit 6, the Unit 6 review. It's on page 190. It does 190, 191, and 192. And you practice, you go through it and see how well you can do. Check what you know. And then look at the video and we'll go over it together. But first, check it out. See what you know. See if you were taking a test on this, if you would make 100 on it. Or what things do you still need to practice. Okay? Okay, have fun working on that. And take some time and rest before you start on to the next lesson. Bye.